Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Milsa and Ruwa, Shalom to the brothers and the works of truth. Um, yeah, this article on the Daily Star, it's kind of going into how Russia, well, in general, the, the whole world's getting pushed into World War III, man. It's really that simple. And it's been known from when the invasion of Ukraine happened. And this is where it's looking to go, and it's the Western side has been pushing it into that realm heavily, man. So this is what Russian propaganda declares World War III has started in terrifying Kremlin TV threat. And yes, it's actually peak because it's it's actually peak. Jesus. Because now, for real, like the shit's kicked off. People are really not aware of how of how present it is. That's funny still. People aren't aware because as far as they think it's it's even with the whole engagement in the first place, people are just kind of like, oh, Russia's just gonna steamroll these guys. But they've been getting like so much fucking support. Like you've literally had random fucking citizens from from the US, from the UK, from all over the world go into Ukraine and just get what's the word volunteer. That's the one. Volunteer to get themselves blown the fuck up. Which is what at the point where it's NATO's dipping their toe in, essentially. What's it say? It says a Kremlin propaganda piece has claimed World War III has started and that Russia's horrifying task is to demilitarize NATO. The thing is, anyway, it's only really people over here in the West where they're thinking, because anyway, it's like the way they were talking about Russia when they said, oh, Russia's got garbage military, garbage training, garbage this, garbage that. Meanwhile, we're looking at their weapons platforms. We're looking at their missiles. We're looking at what they're able to put out there. Then it's just like they've outstripped the West in a lot of aspects, to where it's then like, oh, okay. Yeah, they've outstripped the West in a lot of aspects. Like Satan missiles, and the other one as well, the hypersonic one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but those means it's like the West hasn't actually found a countermeasure. If those are utilized, then spots are gonna get annihilated. So it's the boiling point is being reached, and in the midst of that, the Karagma as well, that mark getting pushed out. So this is what and anyway, NATO with what was it? Norway? Was it Norway or was it Sweden and Finland? I think it was Sweden and Finland that applied for NATO membership. So they're in the process. So depending how it goes down, hey, we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. Um, but anyone with sense, these things can be put together. It's like, but like all that people have been talking about is what Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, and what was it before that? What ended the war in Ukraine before that? Or even monkeypox. These things are basically just knocked it out of the mainstream. And well, now it's June, so it's Pride Month. So all those demons are going to be out, engaging with all forms of insanity and madness, as well. So it says Russian television anchor Olga Skabayeva of Putin mouthpiece Russia One claimed on camera that the war in Ukraine, known in Russia as a special military operation, is now over. Skabayeva argued that the West's provision of arms to Ukraine meant that the special operation had spilled into a global conflict, which, yeah, is common sense. It's like, bro, the amount of like goods they've been supplying as well is fucking hilarious. Like they've been supplying an insane amount of fucking of different supplies to Ukraine. So it's already got everyone involved. Hey, it's gonna be peak. What does it say? Scavia, the West Berlin. Okay, had spilled into global conflict as Ukraine showcased new British Wolfhound heavy tactical support vehicles. You even had like you had Boris go over there. You had hella these guys just go over and chill with Zelensky and whatnot. You had Zelensky in Parliament, Zelensky in the Senate. Bruv, the guys become an international superstar. It's actually mad. Like the way it's already been like linked up. They're like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be the what do you call it? The hill to die on is what they're pushing out. But we'll see. Um, Showcase. The Anchor's tirade was on broadcast on. When's repeating the same thing like 3 times? Skabayeva said, "It's time to admit, perhaps, that the Russian special operation in Ukraine is now over, in the sense that a real war has started. World War III, we have been forced to demilitarize not just Ukraine, but NATO as a whole. It's not only Smerch MLRS with cluster munitions that struck Donetsk, the strikes were carried out with American M777 howitzers." Yeah, it's really been that from a while. Ukrainian troops have been spotted using armored rounds kitted with Browning heavy machine guns as well as Wolfhound support vehicles given to the country by Britain. So yeah, that's a big part of what slowed them down as well, is like the sheer amount of international support. But hey, it's no, it's peak. It's peak. Because for real, it's already become that global conflict. But it's not been admitted, and it's like international troops are not yet on the ground. But hey, it's gonna get to that point soon. Because why? It's all the other prophecies. You see, it's in that time, man. In that time. He said, of course. No, he said, most people, of course, meet us as liberators with tears in their eyes, seeking to fake the military in person. When we come outside, hug Republican, Russian servicemen, saying their anticipation, liberation. Hatred towards everything Russian was promoted in Ukraine. Language, culture, people in Russia in general. To our great regret, Kiev and the US were able to raise an entire generation, a nation of nationalists in such a short time. Well, yeah, it's they're what you call that? All the different factions within like Ukraine and Russia all these different mindsets and whatnot. But it's a thing of they're just trying to justify whatever angle they're looking to come from, man. And that's really how Esau is, the propaganda mill, man. Essentially selling it as what he's doing is righteous and just. But hey, it's all prophecy, man. This is all about time of the end. And it's about what Esau being being made to come into conflict, to start that third world war. Which, if Satan be divided against himself, how can his kingdom stand? Straight. Ezekiel 38. And 2, it's the Son of Man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith the Most High Power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen. Yeah, they're getting them hooks in their jaw. And that's why Russia's been going back into that spirit. Because as far as started with Crimea, and really you had there was that little lull. Because even in the 2000s with what's his name, Alexander something, that guy that got fucking absolutely annihilated on British soil, man. Man got turned into a fucking egg and destroyed. Man got polonium poisoned. By Russia. Because why these men are moving like it is, in fact, still the Cold War, and it had been put back in that spirit to where it's like they're looking at the West like an enemy, and really America's been doing, the West's been doing the same. They've, that conflict has been a core for a while. So it says, what? I'll put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Yeah, that military conflict, that military mindset, that mindset where they're coming against the not the East, coming against the West. So all that spirit's been pushed out heavy, and that's why it's same in the West. It's like as soon as, even in the lead up to it, everyone, even the whole process of time of when this thing's been going down, is the minds of the people has been getting roused up to be prepped for what? Third World War. Because as far as it's it's been putting in the hearts and minds of people to where they're gonna then be feel justified in fuck is it called, to feel they're gonna feel justified when it comes to what is it, let's say when they have to get boots on the ground, when their military is getting involved. So it says what? Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Be your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Most High. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Yahweh Shabbat, valley of the Most High's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. What's going to happen? Everyone's going to get drawn in. Everyone's going to get involved. It's going to get raw. It's going to get intense. Everyone's going to be getting fucking annihilated. That's how peak it's going to be. Russian and the US, they've been drawn into that, man. It's gonna be peak. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yabba Shem Shah, Shem Makakadash Bakta. Shalom.